Hey friends! So today's video is going to be a get ready with me, and we're also just going to talk about some more makeup foolishness that's been going on in the beauty community and in the beauty world sphere this last week or so. Mostly we're going to be talking about brands shenanigans, and I think that's what I kind of want this to be going forward. I'd rather not make it about like individual people. I'd rather make it about like brands, because I feel like there's enough people talking about individuals and influencers and stuff, and this isn't a drama channel, so that's really not what I want it to be. But we're just gonna have like a little rundown of just like some dumb shit that brands have done this week. Heyo! Or just the way that people have responded to things that brands have done. For today's look, I'm actually going to do kind of an all pastel look, because this isn't really the theme of today's video, but like we're going to talk a little bit pastels. I'm going to use the Sugar Pill Fun Size palette. Haven't used this in a video in a while, but because there's no fallout to this eyeshadow palette, I'm going to do my foundation first. Oh, I know what we can first talk about. Holy shit. If you guys know, I have, I guess, worked with, done reviews and done videos with Octoly a handful of times. I always tag them in the videos that I do, so it's always very apparent when I do it. I haven't done in a while, but I did actually just get an email this week, and they actually had something on Octoly that sounded interesting and sounded like I wanted to try it. So that will be coming at some point once I get the product in the mail. But most of the time when I do browse Octoly, because I'll browse it frequently, it's always kind of the same brands. They're a lot of pure products, a lot of, they get Kevin Aucoin, Lancome, YSL, Tony Moly quite a lot, Laneige, and then some brands that like pop in here and there. Sometimes they're like new products, sometimes they're products that are kind of like not selling as well, and they're trying to get more people talking about it. But one thing I've never seen on Octoly was Kat Von D products. We all know kind of the response to this whole rebrand after Kendo essentially ousted Kat from the company, and the rebrand kind of went some sort of way. People are not really responding to the name change and kind of what they're doing now. Not responding to it, I feel like, probably as well as they had anticipated or as well as they had wished. And I saw this week very quickly that KVD, Vegan Beauty Discovery Friendship, whatever the name that they chose, they're on Octoly now, and that was something that I've never seen from that brand pre-rebrand. So I have a feeling that they're not getting the kind of response that they wanted, and I have a feeling that they're now kind of looking for other ways for people to talk about them. And not saying that Octoly itself is like a bad platform, obviously, because I use it and I've looked for products and I've found products that I liked that I ended up talking about because they were on Octoly and I like requested for it. I would recommend just being a bit, still being aware of where reviews are coming from, and it'll be interesting to see if you see like an uptick in reviews for KVD now that they're like using these kind of third-party services that don't necessarily reward people because you don't get paid for it, but you get free PR. That's a whole other conversation about PR in general. Like, obviously, if a brand is reaching out to you and wants you to talk about their product, they should be paying you, straight up. But with Octoly, I feel like it's a good way, at least for smaller influencers that maybe don't have the same kind of connections to these bigger brands. It's a good way for them to specifically look for a product that they want to talk about and they want to try and own. And so since the kind of back and forth comes from the influencer themselves, not necessarily the brand, I feel like it's still like a good way for people to get PR and to get a foot in the door for people who maybe don't have the same kind of social media following or what have you. So anyway, but yeah, the whole KVD thing now being on Octoly is interesting, like immediately after they rebranded. But that was something that I noticed this week that I was like, okay. I have my little Squatch sitting back here. I need to get another thing from Careful It Bites. This stuffed, this plushie, I don't know if I've shown him up close This is a little Sasquatch from a local brand, local seller called Careful It Bites. They have all kinds of cute little plushies and things and pillows and just fun stuff. While I do my eyebrows, let's talk about Benefit, because that seems to be all Benefit is known for. Hey-o! Benefit, the brand that doesn't release any new products ever. Oh my god. This was probably like the dumbest thing I saw on the internet this week, besides everything that's happening in politics. Hey! Benefit released another one of those like cheek palettes, which we're expecting from them at this point. I think they called it Cheek Star. I don't necessarily know like what the pun is supposed to be, because I feel like everything else needs to be like puns, like Cheek Leader, which was a name that made me want to vomit. It was like audial ipecac, just. But they came out with the Cheek Star palette, and it has 5 highlighter, bronzer, cheek products, blushes, you know, the 5 major ones, like Hoola, Cookie, the highlighter, Georgia Peach, which is the peach, well, it's just called Georgia, the peach blush. I don't remember the other one. Rockateur, I think that's what it was, the rose gold one. I didn't do my concealer the way I normally do today. I don't know why. I haven't put makeup on my face in probably 4 days, but you know. Benefit released another cheek palette. Surprise. But the best part and the dumbest part about this cheek palette is that it's a collaboration with none other than Morphe. Collaboration with Morphe. Holy fuck. Like, what? Oh my god. So I shared a screenshot from it on Twitter because I wasn't about to give them the engagement, which I suggest people do. I suggest people do that from now on. If there's something where you want to engage with the tweet negatively, like anything Jake Paul does, or the Kent State Gun Girl, or Morphe, any of those, I feel like people should just like start screenshotting things and then posting about it rather than giving them the numbers. So I did that, and people didn't necessarily see that the bottom half of the image had some brushes, because that's all it was. It was a palette, a cheek palette, and then like 3 Morphe brushes, and yet they still had the stupid little Benefit like square brush that still comes in the blush products, and I was just flabbergasted. I was like put off, but also like confused, and it made me laugh because it was so stupid. Morphe just can't stop, won't stop, apparently. I need to get everything out of this bag. Woo! Where's my powder at? Morphe can't stop, won't stop. And apparently they're not gonna stop. Yeah, I saw that collab, and I was like, how many souls does Morphe own from people who have sold them to them? Morphe is the Mike Bloomberg of the beauty industry, because they have questionable choices. They collaborate with questionable people with problematic, racist, sexist things that they've said. And then nobody knows how they have the amount of money and the amount of resources that they have. And then they like slap their name on everything and nobody wants it. I stand by that statement. Morphe is the Mike Bloomberg of the beauty industry. Come at me. Let me know in the comments below who Joe Biden would be like It Cosmetics. Anyway, was that a hot take? Who knows? But yeah, Morphe is collabing with Benefit for some reason, and I don't understand why. I really don't. It was one of the just most confusing and hilarious collabs I've seen in a bit. I don't have any fake nails on right now, so applying makeup is so much easier. That is one thing I'll say. As much as I love fake nails, applying some of the basic things that I put on my face is a lot more complicated when you're wearing plastic on your nails. Kind of a catch-22, because it's like, ooh, my nails look so much better when they're not real. But then also your face is more difficult to do. Okay, my eyes are primed. I washed off my brushes earlier. Ooh, cleanliness. Everybody washing their hands? Everybody washing their hands? This is one of the times in my life when I'm so fucking excited that I have a hoard of Lush soaps. Like, I have a basket. I mean, I did a whole video during fucking Vlogmas if you didn't see it, but I have a whole basket full of Lush products, a lot of them being bar soaps. So, I'm gonna continue? on the eye. This is the kind of light chartreuse shade. It's definitely more chartreuse than lime, but we're gonna make it lime. We're gonna mix the two greens together in this palette. Yeah, Benefit and Morphe. Who wanted that? Not me. Ooh, one thing that I wanted to mention, I don't know if this like is strictly beauty. Anyway, has everybody else been keeping up with this Lillee Jean thing? This is an Instagram influencer that apparently has just been like buying and faking her entire career. Primink did a great video about it. I feel like a couple other people have talked about it too. I'll post links to it below. It's fascinating. Basically just like this girl that is pretending to be like really popular on Instagram, and like all of her stuff is purchased. Like she doesn't have a lot of followers on YouTube, but she has like almost 1 million on Instagram, which is like sketchy. Yeah, seriously, look this up. This is wild. The whole story is just baffling. Also kind of sad. But speaking of people being stupid and wilding out this week, since we're on the topic of pastels, everybody knows that pastels are trendy for spring, right? Pastels, Easter, everything in the stores just are these light, pretty, baby pink, baby yellow, pastel blue things, and it gets trendy for the spring. And because of that, brands end up planning things out, and brands end up having pastel products. And ColourPop has been doing their monochromatic palettes, we all know this, but they have some pastel versions of it. They've got the Mint to Be, the Lilac You a Lot, was it Georgia Peach? Is Georgia Peach? No, Peach something, the peach one. That one's kind of pastel-y. But yeah, the main one's the Mint and Lilac You a Lot. The pastel purple, pastel green. And those have been out for a bit. They've been out for a while. They're monochromatic pastel palettes. Like, it's not revolutionary. It's not like something that nobody has come up with before. Recently, after those palettes came out, Huda Beauty came out with some pastel versions of her 9-pan palettes. And Huda Beauty has been putting out these 9-pan Obsessions palettes for a while, a couple years now. There were the original ones that were more neon, then they had the nude Obsessions. There's all kinds of different versions of this little 9-pan palette. And like, I'll admit, they're cute. They seem very travel friendly. These pastel ones that she came out with, I'm actually like side-eyeing because the shades look really pretty. I feel like of all things that Huda Beauty does right, I feel like eyeshadow palettes are something that they do well. I've anti-hauled them before, but mainly because it's not something that I need, but I feel like just in general, that's the thing that they do well. So they came out with pastel palettes for the spring because it's March, and spring pastels, it's a trend. A lot of people, including Jeffree Star, which I feel like was really shady on his part, because I'm like, dude, you fucking know. Like, of all people, to try and say a brand copied another brand, literally right after they released a product, another brand owner who knows how long it takes to put together something like that, that's stupid as fuck. And so since he did that, a lot of people, rallied behind him and said that Huda Beauty was copying ColourPop, which is ridiculous because after the Shane series, and after really like much level of common sense, you know it takes a while to put together a palette. It takes a while to finalize designs, to come up with formulas, to manufacture everything, to send them out. It takes a while. So brands are planning things out. They're planning things the year previously. They're planning things several seasons prior to the product being released. And now I'm taking Twitch, which is a platform I'm not on. So there's literally no way that ColourPop could have come out with these products a couple of months ago and Huda Beauty immediately be like, oh, we need this. We're coming out with it now. Honestly, of all the brands to have the capability to like pump out products really, really quickly, it's ColourPop. Like, if anybody's seen the Broken documentary on Netflix, the fact that everything they create everything in-house, from the packaging to the formula, everything is done under one roof. They're the ones that would have the capability to create something within a couple of months because they do all the time. The fact that people are like calling out Huda Beauty for copying ColourPop is just ridiculously stupid because it's just something that people are looking to get mad about. People are looking to get frustrated, and they're looking for something to create drama about. And the fact that I'm talking about it now is case in point. So it's just very stupid. I have something in my eye and I can't figure out what it is. It was just my own eyelash that was poking into my eye. I'm gonna take a tinier brush and take a little bit of Cheat Code, which is the turquoisey shade. This is a really pretty shade, by the way. Just taking a little bit of it in the outer corner. I do love the shades in this palette, but sometimes I just wish that they were a little more like straightforward lime, baby blue, you know. Giving me some limeade realness. This goes against everything that I am, but I have like literally show tunes stuck in my head because John Mulaney was on SNL last night and he had 2 more sketches that were musical based and they were fucking hysterical. And I'm just like, John Mulaney, you're making me have show tunes in my head and I don't like musicals. Winged liner. I'm gonna do my winged liner better than the one that my photo from my photoshopping myself video. Let's see if I can do this. Oh, actually, did I make these wings, like, really good on the first try? I don't know what my sister is doing in the other room, but she's making some noises. Okay. That was actually way easier than I expected it to be. I thought I was gonna take, like, fucking 10 minutes trying to put on my winged liner. I'm gonna let this dry. The last thing I wanted to talk about, I knew that this would be the thing where people would be like, Abby, you're piling on. Why are you talking about this again? I know, because I feel like sometimes when I post videos, people feel like I have a personal vendetta against Morphe, or Jaclyn Hill. Do I have a personal vendetta against either of them? No, absolutely not. I'm sure most of you have seen Jen's video, Jenluvsreviews, her video this week about the Morphe and Jaclyn Hill palette. The first one that came out a few years ago. A lot of people who I know don't necessarily talk about like smaller beauty YouTube or haven't talked about Jen or anybody from that community before have talked about it. And so the video has kind of reached a wider audience, which I'm really glad because I feel like it's one of those that should reach an even wider audience because it's just kind of giving information out. So long and short of it, Jen privated her initial reviews in any video recommending the Jaclyn Hill and Morphe palette, the first one. And the reason she did that was because Morphe has been quietly changing the formula for it. They added some new things. They rearranged some things. I'll definitely leave a link to Jen's video. She goes in very in depth about it. She did that because a family member of hers had bought the palette and they said that it wasn't very good and it didn't swatch well. And so Jen used it and it was not the same formula, like at all. It was definitely different. It felt different. A lot of the shades didn't swatch the same. Some of them even looked different, like the shade was different. So Jen did this like super in-depth video about it, which I highly recommend you go watch because it's one of the reasons I do love Jen's channel is that like she truly does her research and it's one of those things where it's like I trust the research that she does. Kind of what the other big problem was that they were telling people, at least a couple of their employees via like correspondence on customer service, people were asking if they had changed the formula, and a couple people said they hadn't changed the formula, which they were able to debunk literally by looking at the ingredients. And people were thinking that that's super shady, because it is. It's unprofessional to change a formula and then tell people that the formula hasn't been changed. Especially, it'd be one thing if, like, I don't know, some of the pigments were from different places. If, like, you needed to change the formulation of, like, you needed more blue versus, like, red, like, if the dye kind of variables changed, that's one thing. But they added in shea butter, coconut oil, and so they changed the formula to include some of these butters, some of these more emollient ingredients, as well as using carmine instead of a more synthetic red dye, which carmine is a red dye derived from crushed beetles, which means that the palette is no longer vegan. Now, I am not a vegan, but to have a product that was initially vegan, that was marketed as being a vegan product, to change that and to not outright say, to tell people, that's shady, because not everybody, not every consumer is going to have that wherewithal to look at a package that they've seen so much, like so many people talk about. They've seen so many videos and information about this product over the years. They don't feel like they need to look at the package. They don't need to feel like they look at the ingredients, because they've been told that this is what is in it, that this is what was in it from the beginning. And to assume that a brand wouldn't change that ingredient list is not that far-fetched. I know, at least with Subculture, Anastasia changed that formula, absolutely. If you look at the ingredients on the back, it's obvious. And if you see the reviews from people of the first palette versus the later versions of the palette, it's clear that it's not the same formula. I'm taking Lucky Clover from my Anastasia Moonchild Glow Kit to put that in my inner corner. God, I love this green. I feel like it's like a slightly more yellowy green than the green in my Cliona Aftershock highlighter kit, my 4-pack. That one's a little more minty. This one has a little more yellow to it. So I like it for this look. So Morphe changed the ingredients, changed the formula. And so Jen took down these videos that she had recommended because the new version of it just doesn't work as well. It didn't work as well. It didn't work the same. Definitely didn't work the same, which is a problem. Because if a brand is going to go from having a product that is vegan to no longer being vegan, that's a problem. Because whether you are a vegan or not, to unknowingly subject somebody who is vegan to non-vegan things, that's not fair. I wouldn't put it on like the same level of like somebody serving a vegan chicken broth in a soup, but I feel like it's still not okay to do. And also because some of those butters can be comedogenic and some people can be allergic to those ingredients, to put in ingredients that are like very much not the ingredients that were in it before, like I said, adjusting the like amounts of certain dyes and stuff, that's one thing, but to add ingredients that add more things that somebody could be allergic to, that's shady as hell. To not have something on their social media to just blatantly say, hey, we have a new formula of this palette. If they think it's better, like if the reason they changed it because they think they could improve on it, that's one thing. Although with Jen's video, it looks like that they didn't improve on the formula. Not sure why they changed it, but you know, I don't know if I'm just being naive and like brands change their formulas for things all the time, but usually when brands do that, it's after they've discontinued something and then brought it back as a new formula. But Morphe never discontinued this product. They never took it off stock. They never took it out of circulation, as far as I know. Like with, they discontinued all their non-vegan versions of the products and then relaunched them with different formulas. I will say the new agave lip mask doesn't work the same. It doesn't feel the same. I miss the lanolin. But that was a situation where they were like, yeah, we're totally re-releasing things. We're discontinuing these versions, what have you. Lush has done the same thing. They have literally released different versions of the same product with like, they have Ultra Plant instead of Ultra Bland. Ultra Bland is a face cleanser with beeswax in it. Ultra Plant doesn't have the beeswax in it. They essentially made a vegan version of a product that is very well loved so that more people could use it. which I think is great. I think that's a great idea. I feel like having options for people who don't want to use certain products with certain things in it, it's a great thing. I feel like it amounts to having like gluten-free pasta in the grocery store. So I just feel like Morphe doing this is par for the course for them, for sure. I don't necessarily think Jaclyn Hill had anything to do with it, per se. Though I wouldn't be surprised if she did. But as far as I can tell, it seems like something that Morphe just did because they were trying to cut corners or something. I have literally no idea. But kind of tragically ironic that it is the one product that up until now that Jaclyn Hill has released that didn't really have much scandal around it. Pretty ironic that that was the one product that didn't have any issues. And now there's more scandal and drama behind it because Morphe just can't stay out of it. Like I said, the Mike Bloomberg of the beauty industry.
Today, I'm sorry we didn't win, but it's still the best day of my life, and tomorrow is gonna be even better.
I feel like I need some eyeliner on the top waterline. Anybody ever get like mascara on your face or in your eyebrows? Let it dry and then just peel it off because it's way easier to do it when it's dry and you can just like scrape it off, chip it off, because otherwise you're just gonna smudge it everywhere. Food for thought. I'm trying to pan this fucking Fenty highlight. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it in 2020. I might have had a little bit of that green still left on there, but it only made it just like whiter. All right. Now I think all I need is a lip gloss. I'm gonna put everything back in my bag. Yeah. Am I surprised that Morphe is in some more shit? No. Jesus criminy sakes. I need to shake this up better. I feel like I get a lot more shimmer on my face now. Taking my ColourPop So Juicy lip gloss in Princess Cut. But this is the finished look. It's pastel. It's pastel. Are we surprised? Is this revolutionary? It's spring. I mean, it feels like spring right now. It feels like spring for sure. It's been a little bit cold, but that's what Seattle spring is all about. Seattle spring, all about the cold and washing your hands. Seriously, wash your hands. Purell that shit. Wash your hands and stop touching your face. Yeah, this is the look. Let me know in the comments down below what things you've been seeing makeup brands do that's kind of dumb and needs to be held responsible. Not saying people need to like cancel these brands for doing this, but just like be aware, call them out on their shit when they need to be called out. Today's song of the day. Have I made this my song of the day before? Probably, because apparently I'm a Harry Styles stan. Harry Styles came out with the new music video for the song Falling, which is oh so very sad. Oh my god, I saw the music video and I was just like, is Harry Styles gonna make me cry again? Yep. If he comes out with a fucking music video for Fine Line, I am going to just sit there and just sob. Because, oh boy, that song kills me every time. Kills me every time. So, I hope you enjoyed this look. Tomorrow I actually have a special video coming up as a collab, so you guys should keep an eye out for that. It'll be an extra video for the week, so yay! I might have just a live stream on Saturday. I have no idea what Saturday's video is going to be because I haven't filmed it yet. So thanks so much to my patrons. As always, I appreciate you so much. If you haven't subscribed and you would like to see more of my videos, please hit that subscribe button and then give this video a thumbs up if you did like it. Links to everything on my face will be in the, well, at least everything on my face will be in the description. Whether I can find links for all of them, that remains to be seen. So, because I don't know if I don't know if that Sugar Pill palette is still available. Is it? Sugar Pill's been coming out with a bunch of stuff lately. So, you know, these are just my thoughts about stuff, about brands and things that I've heard some dumb things about this week. Thanks so much for watching, everybody, and I will see you tomorrow, actually. Bye!